The Edge has added a new function in the program for automatic giveaways. This option will allow you to go to an item record, check a box, and that item will be a permanent giveaway. Anytime you use that item number at point of sale, it will automatically give that item away. You will not have to choose it at point of sale, and your associates will not need to have security to give away that item. In this video, we're going to talk about putting in your box inventory and being able to track it using the automatic giveaway feature. The first thing is there's a system option and a security permission for associates that are connected to automatic giveaways. The first thing is the system option. So under administrative and under system options, we're going to go down to the point of sale options. The second option is auto giveaway item print options. So you have three options you could set here. Always print. If that's chosen, it will always print the item number, description, and original retail of the giveaway item on the receipt. If you choose never print, anything that's marked as an automatic giveaway will not show on a receipt when it prints for the customer. The third option, which is the default and what I'm going to choose, is print if the retail is not set to 0. So any item that's marked as an auto giveaway that has a retail will print on the receipt. If you mark an item as auto giveaway, but then set the retail to 0, it will not print on the receipt. So I'm going to choose that and click OK. Now, in order to mark something as an automatic giveaway, you do have to have security. So under Administrative, Associates, and Associate List, we're going to choose an associate that should be able to do that. So I'm going to choose Tom Owner. I'm going to go to the Security tab, and I'm going to search for the option. The option is mark an item as a permanent giveaway. So once I type and hit enter, I'm going to choose that option. Tom already has it checked, but if he didn't, I would check that box. Once that's checked, whatever associate we're on can mark an item as a permanent giveaway. Now, as I said before, this video is about tracking our boxes. So before this, you probably did not have a category to put your boxes in. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a box category. So to do that, we're going to go to Inventory. We're going to go to Categories, and you're probably going to want to go to List first. And you're going to look to see what categories you have available, because you will need to give it a category number. Once you know what categories you have available, you're going to hit Add. Now, I already have a box category, so I'm going to type a different one here, and then I'm going to say Boxes. Now, my actual box category is 997. The big thing here is the type, you're going to choose Bulk. And for the pricing method, you're going to choose General Merchandise UPC. On the Pricing tab, you will have to put a markup and a minimum markup. Under Details, if you want to track any details about the box, you can create detail fields here that will show up on the item. I'm just going to use style number, vendor, and description to track my boxes, so I'm not creating detail fields. If you are going to print a tag for every box that you put in, you will need to create a tag layout of what you want to print. You can also say defaults, and it'll bring the default tag in for the Edge. I am not going to print tags for my boxes. I'm going to print a report that will allow me to have barcodes on it later on. Taxes. If you ever are going to sell a box for a price, you will need to say what taxes apply to it. If you're never going to sell your boxes and just give them away, you don't technically need to choose a tax code here. But once you have that all set, you would say Save and Close, and that would set up your box category. Now, the next thing you'd have to do is start entering your boxes into the system. So to do that, you would add an item like anything else. So I'm going to go to Items, Add Items. If you're using from Invoice, that will work also. But I'm going to choose my real box category, which is 997. I'm going to choose my vendor that I get my boxes from. And now the big thing here is before I go any further, I want to make sure that I'm checking the box that says giveaway item. If I don't do that, when I try to put my boxes in, it is going to force me to put a retail. You can then check the giveaway and then fix the retail and mark it as 0. But if you do this first, it saves you some steps. So the next thing would be the style number. So I'm going to enter a style number, and then it's going to come up with my normal bulk item entry. So the first thing it wants to know is what's the cost, what's the invoice, and what's the description. So we're going to do a large ring box this time. And I'm going to say that I got 50 of them. And again, because I checked that box that says this is a giveaway item, when I click OK, it's not going to yell at me that I didn't put a retail price in. If you didn't do that, it would have forced you to put in a retail. You could then go back to the General tab and check that box, and then you come back to the quantities, double-click, and change your pricing. If you have more than one store, you'll have to tell me how many are in each store. But once that's done, when I hit Save and Close, it'll save that item. If you do want to print tags for every box, you would have to go to the tag and tell me how many you want to print. And when you hit Print Now, it will save the record and actually have the correct item number up here. If you're not printing tags, you do not have to do that step. So I'm going to say Save and Close, and now my large ring boxes are in the system. So now that I have my boxes in the system, the whole reason that you put your boxes in is so that you can keep track of them. Most likely what you're going to want to do is set a level to say this is when I want to reorder my boxes. You can do that item by item. So if I was to go look up any one of those boxes that I've put in, I can choose a box, and right from the screen I can hit the levels button, which will show me the levels for this box. So I have a minimum and a maximum. If I want to edit those, I'd hit the edit button. Minimum is when do I want the box to show up on my reports, when it gets below this number. So if I set my minimum to 50, the maximum would be how many do I want to have on hand once I reorder. So if I always want to have 75 boxes on hand, I could do that. This now created the level, but I have to hit save to save it. And now from this point on, once I run my reorder report, if this particular box falls below 50, it'll tell me I need to order enough to get up to 75. If you are a multi-store, you can hit the drop down next to it, and you can say edit levels. And instead of company, which would be all the boxes across the store, you can actually set levels for the individual stores. If you enter all your boxes and you want to set all your levels at once, you do have the option to do that. You would go to Items, Levels, you would choose your category. The other big thing you want to make sure is that you are including UPC. And if you're only working with UPC, you can get rid of item pricing. When I click OK, all the boxes that I've entered into the system, which are my small, medium, and large ring boxes, will show up. I already have levels set for all of them, but if you hit the Edit Levels button, it will let you work with the whole group all at once and change those levels. Once you have the levels set, you would say Save, and now you'd have all the levels set for all your different boxes. Now, the next thing I would have to do is I'd want to print my report that shows me all my boxes so I can use them at point of sale to reduce my inventory. Again, I'm not printing tags for it, so I need something. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Reports. We're going to go to Inventory. We're going to go to In Stock, and we're going to go to By Category. I'm going to just choose my box category. Again, we want to make sure on Type and Status that we have UPC checked. You can uncheck item pricing, but it's not going to matter because we only have UPC in that category. And then on the Options tab, it depends on what you want your report to look like. If you took a picture of each box that you put in, you can actually do a portrait listing, which will have 3 pictures across and roughly 4 pictures down, that will have the item number, a brief description, and a barcode under it. I'm not taking pictures of my boxes, so I'm going to say 1 line per item. I'm not going to show a cost. I don't care about the price on this report. I am going to show details because I want to see the individual items. I'm going to show barcodes. I'm not going to use my report cover page. And I'm also going to get rid of any sorting because it's just a listing of boxes. So now at this point, I'm going to click OK. And now I get a report that has 1 line for each item that has a barcode. These barcodes can be scanned with your current barcode scanner at point of sale to add that box to the sale. I am not going to be using the barcodes. I'm going to use the numbers, but they work either way. So now that we have our levels set, we have our report showing us what the boxes are, the next step would be using them at point of sale. So if I was to go into point of sale and I was to sell a customer a ring, When that rings up, I would then, if I wanted to track my boxes, I would also scan the correct box that I'm using. In my system, I'm going to hit sell item, and I'm going to type my large ring box. So now it's asking how many I'm using. If they bought 2 different rings and I was using 2 different boxes, I could change that to 2. But you'll notice there is no pricing here. And because my system option is set not to show giveaway items that didn't have a retail, when I finish this sale, it is going to print me a receipt with just the ring. So I'm going to hit preview. And now I get a receipt, just like always, nothing about the boxes on here, but now I hand that to the customer. But now, because I used that ring box number, it reduced my inventory from 50 to 48. So as you use that, it'll keep track of what you have. So eventually, once a week, once a month, however you want to do this, you're going to go into reports, you're going to go into inventory, you're going to go into ordering, and the Rapid Reorder report will print you a physical report. The Rapid Reorder form will give you a list that you can then create purchase orders from. Doesn't matter which one you use, the settings are the same. I'm going to use the reorder form. If you do want to schedule this report to be run on its own, you would have to use the Rapid Reorder report. That's the only thing that can be scheduled. So I'm going to say, show me everything from today that is below reorder, and you need to make sure you include your general merchandise, because that's what the boxes are. So now when I click OK, I'm going to get a form that shows me all of the boxes that are below my reorder point. So box 1, which is my small ring box, I have 49 in stock, but my minimum and maximum was 50 and 60. So it says, hey, you need to order 11. The large ring box, which we just put in, we set a minimum of 50 and said we want to go to 75. Now we're down to 48, so it says order 27. So this is a much easier way than counting or keeping a spreadsheet of tracking your box inventory in the Edge and being able to report on it and reorder those boxes.